Hello, my name's Whitaker. I'm the co-founder of Design Mechanism and co-author of the 6th edition of Runequest. What I'm going to do today is give you a sneak preview inside the hard copy of the Runequest rules. At the moment it's available in PDF, we're having the book printed up, but I have a couple of proof copies and I thought that I'd share with you exactly what the book looks like inside so that you can get a much better idea of what it is that you're paying for. This is the Runequest 6th edition and this is a copy that I had printed up by Lulu, print on demand, so this is not the production copy that people will be getting once it's back from the printers. The full fat version is being done by Bang Printing in the United States. It's full offset, full 4-colour, so the quality should be higher, although I'm quite pleased with this Lulu edition. It gives a very good idea of what to expect, and it lets people see what they'll be getting for their money. So this is the front cover for Runequest 6. It was painted by Pascal Kidon, a French artist who's done quite a few different role-playing covers, and he's done a wonderful job here. The cover is clearly a homage to the original box set of Runequest, and here is that original, painted by Louise Perrin back in 1978, and as you can see we've tried very much to keep all the thematic elements that made that such a wonderful and iconic cover in with this cover here. The picture shows Anathame battling a Slaga, and Anathame is the character that we've used throughout the book to illustrate the rules. We thought it made sense to use the same character that appears on the cover to illustrate what's going on as you read through the rules and the game mechanics. So Anathame features very heavily within the rules itself, as we'll see as we take a peek inside. So let's take a little look inside. The book's 456 pages long, which is it's quite a hefty tome, but it actually looks quite compact. There we have the title page, Runequest by Pete Nash and Lawrence Whitaker, and the credits and contents page. The contents page is pretty comprehensive. All the major headings for the different sections are included in there, and if you have the PDF, all these are hyperlinked as well, clearly not in a book. Here on page 4, something very special. Steve Perrin, the man that created Runequest originally, was very kind enough to write us a foreword, and in there he explores a bit about Runequest's history, how it came to be, some of the original playtesting for it, and said a few nice things about this latest edition. So here we have also on page 5 an introduction to Runequest, and you can see some of the thematic elements that we've tried to incorporate throughout the book. The use of the rune, for instance, this appears on every single page, always appears on the chapter header, and it also appears down here on the contents, and if we flick over the page it also appears up here in the header section. So the layout design was done by Fred Hicks from Evil Hat Games, the guy behind the Dresden Files, which is a lovely book to look at if you've ever seen it. Plenty of white space. The print is easy to read, very clear. A few people have made a comment about some of the letters being connected together. Those are called ligatures, and they're a feature of the font. So just to continue through, here we have basic character creation, illustrated by the man rune, which is quite apt. And character creation in Runequest goes through 3 separate stages. The basic statistics creation, then followed by culture and community, which further develops the character in terms of who they know, where they come from, what they've done, what their passions are, and starts building on the skills that are available to each adventurer in the game. Careers and development are where you choose a profession or a career. These give you additional skills and help define the character even further. And we've called this careers and development because the chapter doesn't just focus on your careers and the skills. It also goes into further detail on your age, creating a custom career, bonus skill points that are used, what sort of equipment the character has, social class, which is a new feature that we've included in this game. It's not been in Runequest before. Lots of different elements, so that by the time you've worked through all 3 chapters, you're going to have a very nice rounded character indeed. Moving on, we come to skills, and if you can see here, there's a sample of the character sheet. There is the character sheet on our website. They're available for free download. So skills works through how skills work, what each skill does, the characteristics that are used to determine it, and what happens in the event of a critical success, which is 1/10 of your skill value, or a fumble, which is usually a roll of 99 or 100 on the percentile dice. And again, here we've got another illustration, this one by Sarah Evans. This is Anathame driving a chariot, or trying to, down the streets of Miros, Miros being the city-state that we use as the background for the rules examples. So this is the economics and equipment chapter, illustrated by the trade room here. And this is exactly what you'd expect to find. It's equipment, it's armour, it's tools, vehicles, weapons, and so forth. We've included in here rules for bartering and haggling for those settings that don't have a fixed coinage, which in ancient times you wouldn't. Most of your trade would be done through bartering and haggling of goods and services rather than hard coin. The culture and milieu section here gives a guidance on how to use equipment if you're in an ancient setting, a primitive setting, or even a medieval one or a pre-industrial one. And most of the tools, equipment and armour are given a milieu rating, which shows where they'll be most appropriate. Just a bit of guidance again for games masters that want to maybe use different fantasy settings or genres for their games. Following on from the equipment chapter, we move into the game mechanics. And game mechanics just focuses on all the little different circumstances that tend to crop up from time to time in role-playing games. Here we're looking at moving in armour, the different effects that has. We've got the aging table as characters age, grow and get older and more rickety, a bit like me. How to improve characters, increasing skills, increasing characteristics, lots of new rules there. And that includes training characteristics and also training in skills too. Another nice picture of Anathame by Pascal Quidel, busy training on her sword skills. You'll also see here in the sidebars we've got Anathame's Saga. This is where all the rules examples can be found. So we tell Anathame's story and that of her friends and colleagues, and you'll find everything here in the sidebars referencing the rules on the page where they appear. So following on from game mechanics, we come to one of the favourite chapters, combat. Combat in Runequest can be very deadly for your character if you don't know what you're doing. Combat works by rolling to hit, rolling to defend, and depending on the levels of success between those rolls, generating special effects or combat manoeuvres if you like. And they range from the quite straightforward, such as choosing a particular location to strike, right through to tripping people, disarming them, or even compelling their surrender, which is one of my favourites. If anybody here is familiar with the Mongoose Runequest 2 combat system, which Pete Nash and I wrote, it's now called Legend, most of this will be familiar, but we have tweaked the way that different combat elements work. We've gone into a lot of detail explaining combat styles. We've included different traits for combat styles, so it's not just a golf bag of weapons. And we have taken each of the different combat maneuvers, as they used to be called, now special effects, and tweaked them, included some new ones, and rationalised the way in which they work. The magic systems. There are 5 separate magic systems in RuneQuest. Folk magic, which is small, hedge wizard, hedge witch, cantrips, and so forth, very low level. Animism, which is shamanism, summoning spirits, controlling spirits, binding them. Mysticism, which is brand new for RuneQuest, it's never been covered before, and that's developing personal capabilities and enlightenment to enhance skills, your capabilities in combat, and also embody different traits such as wall walking or arrow cutting or even denying gravity. Very, very useful. Excellent for simulating the wuxia genre, or even a certain film that occurred in a distant galaxy a long, long time ago. So magic is very, very detailed indeed. We have a chapter that just introduces the basic concepts, how it works, how the runes work, because this game is called RuneQuest, and we give lots of different options on Things that you need to think about with magic. So how do magic points regenerate? How do they need to be used? Where will they regenerate? Do they come back naturally? Do you need to sacrifice? Do you need to travel to a temple or a holy place? Things of that nature. And here we have the different runes of Runequest, the major ones. Many more exist, but these are the ones that are most commonly encountered. Animism deals with spirits, what they are, how they work, how you summon them, how you bind them, how you control them. Lovely illustration here by Lee Smith, an Australian artist. He did a lot of the creature work as well. It's an absolutely gorgeous illustration there of a shaman that's gone into a trance and is migrating onto the spirit world. Very detailed rules, very clearly explained. In previous editions of the game, people had problems with understanding exactly how spirits work. You shouldn't with this edition, it's all very clear. Here's an illustration for the Cults and Brotherhoods chapter again by Lee Smith. Cults and Brotherhoods, very familiar stuff, but a lot more detailed in this book. We've given plenty of different examples of cults, how they work, using the runes with them. Lots of examples that you can use straight off the cuff. Here we go, some of the example organisations and cults, so that if you need one in a hurry, you have everything that you need at your fingertips. The book rounds off with the Games Mastery chapter. There's over 20 pages of advice for Games Masters in here. How to get the most out of RuneQuest, setting up a campaign, using different rules such as combat, making the most of it, little tips that we found during playtesting and our own experiences with the game, making sure that you have, if you're the Games Master or referee, everything you need to really get behind the scenes of RuneQuest and make the game special for yourself and for the players. Stacks and stacks of Games Master advice. It's one of the most comprehensive chapters, I think, in the book, and although there's a great deal of GM advice scattered throughout the book, this kind of is the icing on the cake for it. Lots of very, very good advice in here. So this is RuneQuest 6th edition, and as you can see, although it's quite a thick, sturdy book, it's really not that heavy. It's put together very, very well, even though this is a Lulu print-on-demand edition. It opens up quite flat, stays flat, so certainly be useful at the gaming table. So where can you get this? Well, it's available for pre-order now. It costs $50 as a special pre-order price, and we'll be holding that until the 22nd of August 2012. And for your money you will get the physical copy and the PDF free of charge, and the PDF is available for free download. You can place your order from the Design Mechanisms website, www.thedesignmechanism.com, and all the orders are being fulfilled by our partners at Moon Design Publishing and Alliance, who will be distributing the book. The hard copy you should receive towards the end of July. After the 22nd of August, the price will rise to $62. So if you want to save yourself some money, go out there and buy it now. We really hope that you enjoy the game. We've enjoyed making it for you, and we look forward to seeing you in the future at conventions and so on. Bye bye.